Have you ever wondered how the food on your plate made its journey there? Today, we delve into the world of those who make this possible, the farmers and their recent protests shaking the foundations of some powerful nations. In the heart of the Indian subcontinent, the seeds of protest were sown. Tens of thousands of farmers took to the streets of New Delhi, demanding guaranteed crop prices and echoing the sentiment of a movement that successfully repealed contentious agricultural laws 3 years prior. Despite negotiations with government officials, the farmers' demands for loan waivers and legislation to ensure minimum prices for all produce remain unmet. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, in the city of light Paris, the call for sustainable agriculture and better pay echoed in the halls of the Louvre. Activists armed with tomato soup splattered the Mona Lisa to draw attention to their cause. The activists donning food counterattack t-shirts symbolized the farmers' struggle for better living conditions and fair pay. In both nations, the initial grievances of the farmers were clear: a demand for fair treatment, sustainable practices, and better pay. And so, the stage was set for a showdown between the farmers and the governments. As the seeds of discontent were sown, the harvest of dissent grew, leading to dramatic confrontations and unforgettable moments. The protests escalated in unexpected ways, from the fields of India to the hallowed halls of the Louvre Museum in Paris. In a striking act of defiance, two activists hurled tomato soup at the Mona Lisa, a timeless masterpiece, to demand sustainable agriculture and a fair food supply chain. Their t-shirts bore the words "Food Counterattack," a bold declaration of their intent to challenge the status quo. Yet this act of rebellion did more than just stain a priceless artwork. It drew attention to the plight of French farmers seeking improved compensation and living conditions. Meanwhile, back in India, the epicenter of the protests, tensions between farmers and police were reaching a boiling point. The echoes of discontent had swelled into a chorus of tens of thousands, their voices unified in their demands for guaranteed crop prices and loan waivers. The thrust of their movement, however, was a call for legislation securing minimum prices for all farm produce, not just essential crops. This was a bold challenge to a system that historically only set minimum purchase prices for essential crops. The government's response was a blockade, a physical manifestation of the impasse reached in negotiations. Despite several rounds of discussions, no consensus had been reached. The farmers' demands were met with silence and their plight with indifference. The protests, which began in northern India, soon drew international support, becoming a significant challenge for the Indian government and a testament to the farmers' resilience. Yet, these events are not isolated incidents, but rather, they are part of a larger narrative of dissent. From the splattering of soup on the Mona Lisa to the clashes with police in India, each act of protest is a testament to the growing global discontent with current agricultural policies and practices. With each passing day, the protests grew in intensity, capturing the attention of the world. The seeds of dissent had been sown, and the harvest was now ripe, ready to shake the foundations of the world's agricultural systems. But the ripples of this protest didn't remain within the borders of these nations. The world watched, and some even joined the fight. From the heart of Paris, where activists splattered the famed Mona Lisa with soup in solidarity with the farmers, to the far corners of the globe, the outcry for sustainable agriculture and fair pay echoed. This protest was no longer a regional issue. It had a global resonance. The international support added fuel to the farmers' cause, putting pressure on the governments involved. The world was now scrutinizing their approach towards agriculture, their treatment of farmers, and their response to the protest. The governments were under a global microscope, their actions and inactions shaping the world's perception of them. The farmers' protest was not just a demand for better living conditions and fair pay. It was a plea for respect, dignity, and recognition of the crucial role they play in feeding nations. The world had heard their cry, and they joined the chorus, making the farmers fight their own. And so, the farmers' protest became a global conversation, transcending borders and cultures. So, where does this road of protest lead, and what does it mean for the future of agriculture and farmers' rights? Let's ponder on this. The path of these protests could lead to significant changes in policy, or even a paradigm shift in how we view sustainable agriculture. These protests are not just about prices or loans. They are about recognition, respect, and the right to a dignified livelihood. Addressing the farmers' demands is not just crucial for them, but for all of us. After all, they are the caretakers of our food supply chain, and if they aren't secure, neither is our food supply. Practical solutions could include implementing guaranteed minimum prices across all crops, not just essential ones, to ensure farmers are not left at the mercy of fluctuating market prices. Additionally, measures to double income and waive loans could also be considered. But it's not just about policy changes. It's also about changing the narrative, about recognizing that farmers are not just providers, but partners in maintaining our food security. Foreign elements have also played a part, with international support pouring in for the farmers. This global attention could pressure the government into taking more concrete actions to address the farmers' demands. As we continue to watch this unfolding drama, one thing is clear. The farmers' protest is more than just a news story. It's a testament to the power of collective action and the human spirit.